Hey, Copilot is a thing you will not soon be able to say in front of a room full of Windows PCs.
I think what Cortana has come full circle.
It
You know,
has.
we're back.
We are. That's
I wonder if we'll see Copilot compatible logos on smart home devices now, and you know, this product works best with whatever. Could happen.
you know, I've
Just
read
saying.
every single word of these announcements. I looked over all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure that people will find there's some use and functionality to this. However, the thing that got really weird for me
Mm-hmm.
is where does Copilot Plus come into all this? Because they are
Yeah.
really melting the lines of what
Yeah.
they were
Right.
promoting.
So that's a good point. So part of the weirdness of this announcement you're referring to that happened today, which is basically about like Copilot Voice and
Yep.
Copilot Vision, I guess, in specifically in Windows, right? Um, is that we are starting. So we've been wondering about this, like when do Copilot plus PC capabilities come to PCs with GPUs maybe in the beginning or something, or like all when are all PCs whatever. And yeah, so this is not the first one, by the way, but there's this interesting thing happening now where certain things that are Copilot plus PC only are starting to be made available in other ways.
Would you
You
say
know,
democratized?
I would not.
Okay. No, no.
Actually, you know what? I just realized as I said that the reverse has happened. So in Notepad, there are these writing tools, right, that are Copilot based, and they require the cloud, and they're kind of like premium features. So you have to have like a Microsoft 365, or well, now just a Microsoft 365 subscription. But if you have a Copilot plus PC, you get some of them through the local AI thing. So now we're doing it in the reverse, I guess. For certain features, I guess. I don't know. It's if you're suggesting that the feature matrix of what you get with different types of Windows 11 computers is confusing, let me introduce you to my life, because, dear God,
Yeah.
this is all I deal with. And you can tell I'm not dealing with it well. Yeah, it's just confusing. I mean, and by the way, just not to pile it on, but the central weirdness of Windows 11 remains, which is that you could have 8 PCs in a row. And actually, here I kind of do. And they're all in the same version, right? And they all have completely different features, right? Because features roll out, like this particular computer. Yeah, this one has the new start menu. I have one that has the new start menu, but not the phone link integration somehow, or you have like phone link integration, but with the old start menu, and, just extrapolate that out to every feature there is. And I don't know, I'm batting about 80% there or whatever, but
Which is way higher than.
like the best batter on earth. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
know, I know, I know. There was a bad way to phrase that, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's weird.
Yeah. Weird is one way to describe it. Cluster is
It's
another, with another expletive
I
after that.
just look, power users especially like recoil every time Microsoft adds anything to anything, right? They don't like the thing I just described, like Notepad AI features, like it's a
Mm-hmm.
text editor, right? But at least they'll let you turn that stuff off, right? And I feel like the reverse should be true. Like if you're a what Microsoft would call a seeker, right? You want this stuff. There should be a switch that says just turn it all on. I want it. Give it to me. There could be a warning. There could be another warning, but yep, just do it. And I know there are things like Vive Tool, and you can sort of get there,
Yeah,
but
but
not really.
that's like skirting around the problem. That's
No, I know, and it's not actually 100% either, right? Because there's some stuff they just can't control. Some of this literally is just coming from it's some cloud switch somewhere or something. So anyway, we live in confusing times for
well, they
sure.
announced the run dialogues getting dark mode, and then they shipped an update, and I'm almost certain that that new update did not or new insider build did not have that capability, like not
But
turned
so
off, just not even in the
right,
functionality. So
I don't. That thing you're describing, which is not just the run dialog, right?
right,
It's like
there's a couple other
file
items in there.
progress. I think it's the options dialog in File Explorer, which is one of the worst ones, frankly, because it's just this, a little
Yeah.
bigger. But I've never seen this. I've never on my own computers, right? That's a good example of like one of these features that, depending on where you are, like inside a program, whatever, you have access to, I guess. But do you? I don't know. It's weird. This whole world is weird.
It's all whatever. Well, this is.
You're excited, right? You're going to talk to your computer now.
I'm going to ask it why the f it's so slow, and then if it can answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, I have computers that wake up sort of, and then the little eyeball goes, can't even find me. Like, how's this thing going to talk to me? Can't even see me. This is like, I'm not going to go where I was going to go there, but it's not good. Is all I'm saying.
I don't know. I'm sure there are useful things, like if you need to search whatever PowerPoint about how to do a specific thing, but I don't want to ask the computer that. Like, maybe it's a generational thing. This is me yelling at the cloud, right? But not that cloud, but the clouds.
Well, okay. So, but ahead of this announcement, so I don't know if this is yesterday or the day before. I mean, this has been kind of in the back of my head for a long time now. And you'll remember these two instances because these are the ones I kind of quoted from in the beginning of this, which is Satya Nadella appeared at the Qualcomm event where they announced Snapdragon X, and and that was the year Copilot was happening. They were rushing to get it out in 22H2, right ahead of 23H2, even though that was supposed to be when it was out. And he described it as the new start button.
Yep.
And people like, losing their minds, right? And then the second one was Pavlon Pavolori, the guy who runs Windows. And this is just a couple of months ago, was in like a vision video where it's just like something like, Windows hasn't done forever. And he was talking about how Windows would become multimodal, which is an AI term, but I think what he really meant, and in fact, I'm positive, what he meant was we have keyboards and mice and touchpads, and we have touch on the screen, we have smart pens, right? And these things all interact, and some PCs have some, but not the others, but they all exist together. And that natural language and vision was the other one. So that's interesting because today's announcement is about both those things would become part of that mix, But again, everyone freaked out. I'm not talking to my computer, But the thing is, your computer's going away, man. Like the thing that is fundamental here is that the way we interact with what are now features and apps, or I don't know, online services, however you want to describe these things, are going to be digested and consumed and interacted with differently. So yeah, we'll still have a laptop probably for a while. I mean, of course we will, because that's for whatever purposes. But I mean, this is like how ambient computing happens. I mean, and like a simple like step on the way there. I don't know, like I don't know. Well, I don't know if you can even interact with your computer there, but and I don't even know. I'm sorry, I don't even know what this version I'm on this particular computer. But when you right click on stuff now, remember Windows 11 used to have that tiny little menu. And everyone was complaining because there was nothing there.
Yep.
Now there's too much there. Now we have like open, we have like a share with side menu, we have like edit in different apps are on the bottom with sub menus, and now there's yet another one which actually is not on this computer. That's interesting. So on my other computer that's like this, I think it says AI actions or something like that, and then you go as a sub menu, and it will, like on an image, it will say remove background with paint, right? So it's an individual feature that has been exposed to the outside that can be accessed by, in this case, the File Explorer menu, but also by AI, right? And what happens when you click that is Paint opens that image and the background gets removed. And then you can go and say, well, I'm going to keep editing this thing, or I'm going to save it as a different file name, whatever it is. But this is how we get there, right? And that's the thing I wrote about, was like this first step, I guess, which is making apps programmatic is how I think of it. I don't know that Microsoft has ever given this a term, but so every time they announce something like this, right? So this stuff today, Copilot Voice, Copilot Vision, you should be thinking about what Pavan, whatever his name is. You should think about what he said.
Yep.
Pavan. And then look at this and think about, like, is this how we get there? And it's like, yeah, this is how we get there. Like the confusion is you see individual features announced almost every day. Like if you follow the Insider program, there were 2 standalone Copilot app updates across all channels. Technically 3, but there were 2 announcements of features, like just by themselves, and they taken out of context, you're like, what is this? Like, what, they're announcing one thing, but there's really like 30 things happening, and they happen over a short period of time. It's confusing. I know. I don't know. I don't know the world
Hey,
anymore.
Copilot, can you summarize what he just said?
Yeah, can you say? Yeah, there's got to be a more concise way to say it.
Well,
But
it just exploded.
that's
in the
part of the
background.
problem.
It
What's
just
that?
exploded. Like, never mind. It was a joke.
No, but it's just we're living. It's like a fog of war thing, right? Like
Yeah.
we're living this in real time. We keep waiting for it to slow down or stop or something, and
No.
it just doesn't. And it just, it's been, dude, it's like 2.5 years into this, right? Am I right about that? 2.5 years. It feels like it's been 18 years. And what's going on?
Yeah, we all know why they're doing this. There's no, I don't question why they're introducing this and make a big splash. They know that all these things are coming from OpenAI, and Google has their own speakers and everything else, and so they don't want to be left out, and they're trying to, plant their flag, if you will.
Well, I mean, but look, if you had to position Microsoft in the world today, right? Not counting the infrastructure stuff that businesses might be interested in, or developers, whatever, but just as far as like things that people might interact with, whether they're employees at a company working on whatever work stuff, or just people, right? Like what's Microsoft's biggest strength, right? Like it's got to be like
Brute force
productivity,
steamrolling?
basically. Well, okay, yeah, it's Purview, obviously. No, it's I think it's just traditional. I don't know, big screen keyboard typing, making presentations,
Well, they
crunching
had
numbers.
like a hardware division where they could build a thing that would be dedicated to this. That could.
I mean, they do. The guy that used to run that is now running Amazon's thing, and they're showing 2 ads for every 1 photo on your photo slideshows. So,
God,
that's going
that's
great.
a whole nother. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, look, I looked at TV streamers this past summer, and the Amazon one was just a steaming pile of ad-based crap, and it was just. I got ads for like Charmin. It's like, what is this? Like, seriously.
Well, as they say, it takes one to know one, right? It's a steaming pile of. Come on, that's a good one. That's Anyways, everybody listening to this will get Hey Copilot sometime between now and when the sun explodes.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So you do understand the schedule. Okay.
Yeah, perfectly. Like it's between now and the heat death of the universe. If you paid more money for an extra Copilot Plus PC, I can't really tell you what is better, but here we are.
Well, yeah. I mean, the good news is those computers, whether they're the Intel, AMD or Qualcomm, they do have other advantages that are useful. The Snapdragon ones in particular, obviously, have whatever efficiency and all that stuff, battery life. But those are the best. Well, certainly the AMD one is the best processor.
Tread carefully here, Thurop, because
I gotta be. Yeah, it's like, well, the Intel one's not so much, but definitely. Well, no, there are still improvements.
If somebody put a Copilot Plus PC in front of me, or an AMD 7900 X3D paired with a 5090, and they said, which one are you taking? We know where we're taking it. Like,
yep. This is the strategy of throw it out there and let the world make something that makes sense of this. I think what happened, like this happened with the Mac with, the laser printer and
oh God, whatever. I thought you were going to say Touch Bar, but
no, that didn't happen there. Although that was another example of it. The idea was like, we have this thing, and some like HoloLens just never worked. It's like, we have this thing, we think the technology is amazing. Let's throw it out in the world, and someone will deliver the killer app that makes sense of this thing. And then we're met with silence. And the Touch Bar actually.
No. They found the killer app. It was the U.S. military.
Yikes. Okay. Ugh.